we are in an integrated world today. ODL is available in all parts of the globe. It's available in America, it's available in Japan, in India, in Indonesia, in all parts of the globe. To discuss some of the major facets of this distance education, we are having some of the distinguished colleagues from various parts of the world available in the studio today. In the right beside me is sitting Dr. George Boppe. He's from Papua New Guinea. He's head of the Department of Open and Distance Learning, University Technology of Papua New Guinea.
Hello.
Then we are having our colleague from China. She's Lan Bing. She's Associate Professor at Department of Scientific Research, Yuman TV University, China.
Hello.
We are having Eric Bray. He's basically from USA, but he's a professor of technology in the Department of Environmental and Technological Sciences in Yakuo University, Japan. We are also having one colleague from Japan. He's Kumiko Akoi, Associate Professor, National Institute of Multimedia Education, Japan.
Hi.
We are having among us Pramila Devi. She is from University of South Pacific, Fiji. We are having Bina Akobi. She is a research officer and lecturer in the University of Wits, South Africa.
Hello.
Now let us discuss some of the important features of the open universities and open and learning universities in this country. Let us begin with a small introduction from our Japanese colleague. Let us ask Kimiko Akoi about some of the features of the open and distance learning in their system. Akoi, can you please briefly point out what are the main small history of the open distance learning system in your country?
In Japan.
Yeah.
Well, I think distance learning has historically actually started with correspondence school. And in Japan, yes, we had correspondence school starting early 1900. And then the media moved from print media to broadcast media, and then the University of the Air, which used TV and radio for the instruction medium, started to be established in 1981. And since then, University of the Air, it's the biggest and I would say the sole open university institution in Japan. And actually, the organization I work for, it's called National Institute of Multimedia Education, was actually started at the research arm of the University of the Air. We actually were housed in the same campus, and we have good collaboration. The University of the Air currently has almost 90,000 students in total. But still, they use TV and radio as their primary medium of instruction. They haven't really moved to the internet and e-learning yet. And we, as at the NIME, the part of the Ministry of Education until the last April 2004, we actually work for the Ministry of Education to promote e-learning in higher education in Japan. So the University of Air, it's still in the broadcast mode, but our institution is trying to promote e-learning and the use of ICT in higher education in Japan. The mission of our institution is to do research and development of e-learning in higher education in Japan. So we have several projects, for example, e-learning in terms of human-computer interaction, e-learning in terms of developing learning object depository, e-learning in terms of international collaboration, e-learning in terms of faculty development. So we have dozens of actual projects currently running and try to promote and develop e-learning in Japan.
Eric, you were involved in designing and delivering certain programs online, and you pointed out that there are some of the sociological variable involved in designing, development and delivery of these online programs. Could you please highlight what are those special features?
Okay, well, There's some question really whether standard practices developed in America or Australia are really going to work with Japanese students or perhaps Asian students. One approach would be just to take standard, take a lecture and put it online and available to students. And some schools have that type of approach for providing the delivery there via the computers or via, basically via the computers. There's some question though whether, of course, more like a threaded conversation environment and more constructivist type approaches to learning might be a little difficult for some students that aren't used to that type of approach to learning. There's also that type of approach to learning. A more self-directed learning may not really fit for Japanese students. There's also, for me, the question of whether Japanese students very much like to form groups in their study activities. That would keep them in a program, for instance, rather than dropping out or leaving a program. So if possible, it would be nice to see e-learning provided in such a way that students connect to other students and have interaction rather than that they're isolated. Perhaps in an American environment, students working individually, that would suit them, or many students, especially older students. But I do wonder if Japanese students, even older students, would benefit more from a learning environment where there's a lot of interaction, for example.
What is the language component? It is mostly in English or in Japanese?
Of course, in Japan, the language will be completely Japanese.
Okay. Do you find any ethnic factor or rural-urban dividing affecting the access to ICT-based learning or online learning in Japan?
Well, that's a good question, but I think that since all Japanese will speak the standard dialect, that if materials are produced in the standard dialect, then there wouldn't be any problem really with that.
Okay, thank you. Now let us go to our colleague from China. Let us know about the open learning system in the Chinese context. Lan Bing, will you please briefly mention the history of the open learning system?
Open distance learning, we usually call it TV University.
Yeah.
So, TV University in China was set up in 1979. So, at first we teach students with books, broadcasting programs, and later with some tapes and video tapes. And with the development of the internet, I'm going to teach students with some educational technologies. So, as China has a large population and we have many people in impoverished regions. So, with our practice of the distance learning, we have developed several instructional models for students. You see, in Yunnan province, this province is situated in the southwest of China, and there are many people, minority people, and mountain people, and in the rural area. So we developed 3 models for instruction. So in central city and comparatively developed cities, students may learn their courses independently and in a self-regulated way by using their own network technological conditions. Teachers may give them some guidance and assistance. In less developed cities and prefectures, students may learn their courses in a self-regulated way by using their network technological conditions and some of the relevant services offered by the institution. And teachers give them some guidance and assistance and some face-to-face instruction. In countries with poor conditions at a basic level, teachers may bring movable network technology or some instructional medium resources and teach students by the form of records called multimedia movable classroom and organize students to learn the courses. So we put our orientation to offer the education high distance learning to the people in rural and minority people area.
What kind of media mix you are having in terms of having ICT based program for them?
Yeah, we have some ICT books at the. Then we have online TV. We have TV online on a website.
Okay.
And we have some which offers. We produce some videotapes, and we have teachers just learning courses, and we put them on the web.
Yeah.
And we offer some programs there.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Now from China, let us come back to the experience of Papua New Guinea, and we are having our friend George Bopi. George, will you please briefly mention a history of the open learning system in your country?
Yes, thank you. Our country is in the South Pacific, and we are a country of 5 million people. Our history of open and distance learning took off in 1958 as a correspondence school, and that still exists today. But our university, my university, that's University of Technology, the program started in 1993. Now, we are principally a university that trains engineers, surveyors, people like that. So we're having problems at the moment trying to grapple with how we can actually teach those practical subjects through distance mode, and that's our challenge. But it started in 1993, and we are now running the University Bridging course, which is our main program, that we take students from year 12, from secondary schools, and we put them through this University Bridging program and prepare them for university studies. So our targets at the moment are students who leave year 12. A lot of people also can go through this program who have left school a long time ago in other parts of the country. So we have this program that runs right throughout the country, and currently we have 11,000 students enrolled through this program. We have another program that runs, that's an undergraduate program, and that is accounting and management programs that we are running there at the moment in diploma and degree levels. And we are in the process of developing postgraduate programs for our graduates who are working mostly in the mining companies. They are actually engineering management program we're at the moment targeting. We're currently using print-based, which is our normal medium now at the moment, although we use a bit of radio and television, and increasingly now the internet is becoming more common. But again, we have 70% of our people live in rural areas, and they cannot be accessing computers, so most of it we're still offloading our content through print-based at the moment.
This is very interesting. I think that 75% of your people living in the rural areas, and ICT is not accessible to them, and now you are having some print-based kind of a thing. Do you develop this program yourself at the university level, or how do you develop this program?
Yes, the courses are locally written, and they're written in context to our own curriculum. So now the reason why many of our people are inaccessible to the modern technologies is because they live in different isolated pockets of islands or up in the hinterlands. And for them to come to a nearest town that's a long, and for some of them it's quite a long distance. So we find that we can send print materials to them much more conveniently there, and we can offload them through other mediums. So for us now, that's what we use. But we use a network of study centers. We have 25 of them around the country, and we have them in our neighboring Pacific Island country, Solomon Islands. We have a study center there where we identify a secondary school and use them as our study centers. And we use teachers in those secondary schools to help facilitate our program at the same time.
As I understand about your country, it's a good variety of indigenous people, lot of migrant from Indian subcontinent, lot of migrant from other specific countries. What is the language and cultural component you make inbuilt in your courses?
Yes, now we have people from mostly Chinese, Indians, and of course from Indonesia and European settlements there, but bulk of our people are Melanesian, meaning they're from the Pacific, they're from Papua New Guinea. And common medium of language is English. English is our language of instruction and commerce. So everybody now we have to learn English. Now in my country, we're so diverse as Melanesians. There are well over 800 different languages. So we can't choose one language and make that our national language. So we use English, which is more convenient for everybody.
Yeah. Thank you. Let us go to South Africa, and our colleague will highlight some of the features of this program and also some of the institutional characteristics that has been getting adapted to the culture of open and distance learning. Bina, will you please briefly point out the background of our institution, which is accepting this open and learning system very recently?
Okay, thank you. Actually, we within REDMAST is a unit within University of the Witwatersrand, and basically our aim is research in science and maths, and we're also doing in-service training of teachers of maths and science at primary and secondary level. And as you know, science being a very difficult subject, we look at different means of accessing science to the teachers. And one of those ways is we've developed science kits, and we are currently doing research on how this can be used by the teachers at home to learn science.
What are the initiatives you are taking to popularizing science for distance mode, especially for the teachers training program? Will you please highlight more about it?
These teachers are already teaching in the school, so they do know the difficulty and how learners find it so difficult to learn science. And perhaps by accessing practical work to them, it makes it more easier for them to see, because the subject is so abstract. If they see color changes, if they see something that visual, then it's more enjoyable even for teachers. And by using the kit, it will make it more easier.
Have you encountered any kind of resistance from the teacher or anybody else?
No, I won't. I'll say no because so far it's been very positive.
Yeah, thank you. Now let us go to Fiji. We are having Pramila Devi with us. Let us ask Pramila the brief history of this institute and how they are getting integrated with this open distance learning system.
Okay, University of the South Pacific, or USP, started in 1968, and it is owned by 12 island nations, 12 countries from the South Pacific. And but its distance education program started in 1971, 2 years after its face-to-face courses. And the main purpose behind the distance courses was to reach out to its regional member countries. And when we started initially, it was basically print mode, but since 2000 we are also using ICT based modes, and in particular we are using video broadcast to deliver lectures to the regional students, and then we are also using audio conferencing, video conferencing, email, WebCT as to supplement the distance education teaching and learning.
What kind of ICT based programs you are having in your university?
Yeah, okay. The actual network is through the satellite network owned by the university, and initially when there was print-based distance education, mostly the social science courses were offered to distance students in the region, and courses like computer science, physics, and other like third year, final year degree courses in even education were not offered to the distance students. But with the help of the video broadcast, for the first time, the traditionally on-campus courses are offered to the distance students, and which is what used to happen initially was if a student in Samoa, for example, started a Bachelor of Arts program in education and sociology or geography, he or she would do first year course and maybe part of second year course, and then would have to come to Fiji to Lodala campus to complete the third year program. But with the video broadcast courses, he or she can do most, and in some cases they can complete the entire program through by staying in their own country.
Yeah, we are also having, what is the major language component of your program?
Okay, the official language of the University of the South Pacific is English, because the university actually it covers 33 square kilometer of surface area, and there are 4 major cultural groups who are who make up the student body of the University of the South Pacific, and these are Melanesian, Polynesian, Micronesians, and Indians. And just because, and then within Polynesians, Melanesians, there are many languages and dialects. And just for that reason, the university is keeping English as the official language, and all the instructions are in English, but there are always help available in case if someone needs additional help.
Eric, you are situated in a hub of technological development, especially with reference to the ICT. What kind of networking and kind of collaboration you are using in recent years? Can you please highlight a little bit of it?
Yeah, well, in the last few years, restrictions, I should say, the regulations from the top down, from the Ministry of Education, have been relaxed a bit, allowing students to get some parts of their required units from correspondence or distance institutions. So that's a bit of collaboration. It's allowing students in the normal universities to get units from the correspondence and distance programs in other universities. In addition, there are some universities are providing content and providing classes via, I guess it's a satellite transmission to other universities. So that's linking up universities around Japan. As far as the international connects to other countries and other programs outside of Japan, I'm not really well versed in that, but perhaps Aoki Sensei will be able to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. Now, Aoki, will you please?
Yes, I just want to add one thing to the satellite broadcasting system, because the NIME actually started the satellite collaboration system, SCS, and we put the nodes in most national universities in Japan, so that we can actually have collaboration using satellite. Mainly it's a simultaneous synchronous video conferencing system, and we have that within Japan, and also we have some nodes in South Asian countries, and also currently we have collaboration in terms of the learning object depository. And we have collaboration with other association of learning object depository, so that we can have federated search, meaning you enter one keyword and you can search different databases around the world to search learning object. That's another collaboration, international collaboration we are currently pursuing. And also we have the Scholarly Exchange within the National Institute of Education, and also we help the university and the colleges in Japan to internationalize and to develop collaboration or joint classes with other universities abroad using ICT. So it's like international distance learning system, and we try to promote and facilitate that kind of collaboration among university in Japan and university abroad using ICT.
What kind of collaboration your university per se is being initiated?
Okay, just because the whole ITC system is quite new, but we have, the university has one unit which is trying to initiate research and trying to have a research unit where staff would be working with other staff from other universities. But at this stage, I cannot give a name of one particular
Is it
project.
collaboration between the conventional and the open universities, or the collaboration between among the open universities?
USP is both. It's dual mode. It's on conventional as well as distance,
Distance
mode.
mode,
Yeah. So
like this.
we are not particularly associated with any one.
Yeah. Bina, do you like to highlight some of the collaboration you have recently initiated?
With the science kit, we've also have a UNESCO program where UNESCO has funded to have initial workshops, and for now I can name up to 40. Well, there has been 47 countries that have that has participated in this initial program.
Yeah. Bopi, do you like to mention some of the collaboration your institution initiated?
Yes, not so much that we initiated. The initiative has come from the mining companies, not from the university, but we're now targeting, we're now developing a course to address mining engineers in terms of management and all that in the mining industry. So I suppose in our sense it has not been initiated by us, but from the industry.
Yeah, now the same question maybe we can ask to Lan Bing. I mean, has there been some kind of networking and collaboration at your university level?
Yeah, yes, we have some. The teachers are required to make some courses. They have done some courses network. They have to write some guidance and some the courses plan and give some instructions on the network. So we actually in Native University we have instructional platform of TV online for distance learning.
Oh.
So teachers should produce some programs for students with the unseen.
Thank you. Now, as a part of a concluding remark, can you suggest in one line what should be the approach to serve the student and the nation better through open and learning system?
I guess it's not really the technology, but I think working together among like institution like us and institution like here, Open University institutions, to collaborate and to develop programs and curriculums which are beneficial to all the countries. I think that would be the way.
Eric?
Yeah, I'd like to see not so much for, we can look at America and we can see the distance education there, the changes in and what has been learned through distance education is now coming into the regular classes, and Blackboard, components to classes and threaded discussions outside of class are really sort of transforming higher education in America to make it more interactive and less lecture-centered. And I'd like to see also in Japan the same kind of thing grow and become more prevalent, and so that the IT itself can act to help education improve and be more effective for students.
Thank you. Lan Bing, what will be your kind of a suggestion?
We sometimes in Native University we have we have 36 budget school, and we have some collaborations with the local enterprise. We give them courses and teach students there, and maybe we treat some in service training, offer some course training. But we don't have much international cooperation.
Yeah.
But we have some courses offered to the student in Nigeria. So we have one project called One Student in One Village. So we offered all the courses to the remotest place in rural regions.
Thank you. Bobby, do you like to suggest something?
I think most countries, like in our case, what we need to do is to collaborate with people who have the delivery technology, and that's what we need. Smaller countries like ourselves, maybe with Japan, Australia, countries like that, the best way they can help us is to help us with the delivery technology. They may have the delivery mechanism and the technology, and we can't of course import programs and courses from other countries, and they'll be out of context for us. But we have our own, and all we need is the assistance in delivering that, and that's what we would like to collaborate with anybody who can assist us in that area.
Yeah. Thank you. Now we have listened to our friends from the open and distance learning system from various parts of the world. Now, what is the conclusion of this talk is that we need more and more collaboration, a process of sharing, a process of sharing resources in various dimensions to serve the student better, and to serve the nation better, and to serve the humanity better. Thank you very much for being with us, and we hope we'll keep on meeting again, and we'll expect a good success of the open distance learning system all over the world. Thank you.